Welcome back, coin hunters. Today, we're diving deep into the top 5 most rare Lincoln pennies, where small copper coins hold massive value. These aren't your average pocket change, these are the rarest, most sought-after Lincoln cents ever minted. From unexpected mint errors to ultra-rare varieties and historic key dates, these 5 Lincoln pennies have stunned collectors and shattered records at auctions. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just curious about that jar of coins at home, because one of these coins might just be hiding in your collection. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and mind-blowing world of the 1983 copper Lincoln penny, a coin that was never supposed to exist, but somehow did. Let's rewind to the early 1980s, an era of rising metal costs and economic volatility. The price of copper had become so high that producing pennies was costing the U.S. Mint more than 1 cent per coin. In an effort to save millions in minting costs, the U.S. government made a radical decision in 1982. It changed the penny's metal composition from 95% copper to a cheaper 97.5% zinc core with a thin 2.5% copper plating. Wrong planchette composition, copper instead of zinc. XFO condition, $150,000 to $100,000. 1,000s to 63 to MS65 plus condition, $250,000 $500,000 plus. PCGS and other third-party graders have confirmed composition via metallurgical analysis. Off-center strike on copper planchette, XFO condition, $300,000 plus. MS condition, could reach $500,000 or more. None confirmed publicly as of now, but if one is found, it would be a multi-million-dollar coin contender. Die clash or double die on copper planchette, mild doubling or clash, $250,000 for $100,000. Strong DDO double die obverse, potentially $500,000 plus. Auction sales record the value of legend. When this error coin was first publicly known, it caused waves in auctions and private collector circles. One known specimen sold for $17,625 at auction in 2013. That might seem modest, but remember, it was still under the radar then. In recent years, as more collectors have become aware of this anomaly, its estimated value has skyrocketed. Estimated market value today, extremely fine XF, $150,000 to $100,000, mint state MS63 plus, $250,000 plus. Speculative value in MS65 plus or red-brown, up to $500,000. Why so valuable? Extreme rarity, possibly only 1-3 exist. Mint date discrepancy, a copper coin with a 1983 date challenges numismatic norms. Historical importance, represents a transitional anomaly in U.S. mint history. High demand, error collectors, Lincoln cent specialists, and high-end investors are all interested. How to identify 1983 copper Lincoln penny? Want to know if your 1983 penny could be the golden ticket? Weigh the coin. Use a precise digital scale. Normal 1983 pennies weigh around 2.5 grams. Copper pennies weigh around 3.11 grams. If yours weighs 3.0 to 3.2 grams, you're onto something. Visual inspection. Look for any signs of abnormal wear, striking issues, or off-color tones. Use a loupe or microscope to examine the surfaces and edges. Get it authenticated. Contact PCGS, NGC, or ANACS. They will weigh it, conduct metallurgical testing, and authenticate it as a legitimate mint error. We're diving deep into the mysterious world of the 1981 Lincoln penny, a coin that hides a jaw-dropping secret. We'll explore how a simple mistake at the U.S. Mint created one of the most valuable and rarest pennies in American history. The 1981 Lincoln penny was the last of its kind in one very important way. It was the final full year that the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln cents made entirely from 95% copper, before switching to the copper-plated zinc composition in mid-1982. This transition marked the end of an era for the classic Lincoln cent, a coin that had been made of mostly copper since 1909. Struck on the wrong planchette. One 1981 penny struck on a dime planchette sold for over $10,000, and one struck on a foreign coin blank has been estimated at over $50,000 in top condition. Proof strikes in circulation. If you find one of these, you're looking at a $150,000 to $250,000 coin. In PR70 deep cameo, some have sold for upwards of $20,000, but if discovered in circulation as a wild proof strike, the value could skyrocket to $500,000 or more due to its unauthorized release and historic significance. double die is the holy grail of error. While less frequent than in other years, a 1981 double die obverse DDO in pristine condition can fetch $10,000 to $50,000, depending on the strength of the doubling and the grade. Real sales and auction legends, confirmed auctions, and jaw-dropping sales. A 1981S Type to PR7 ODCAM sold for $21,150 in a heritage auction. A 1981 error struck on a 10-cent planchette fetched $12,000. And multiple wrong metal errors from 1981 have crossed the $50,000 mark at public sales. Experts estimate there may be less than 10 known 1981 Lincoln cents with proof characteristics in circulation, likely unauthorized releases. If a fresh example surfaces with perfect fields, cameo contrast, and sharp details, you're looking at a once-in-a-lifetime, six-figure payout. Just imagine the headlines: pocket change penny turns out to be worth $500,000. How to identify a 1981 Lincoln penny? Here's where it gets exciting for you, the viewer. Go grab your jar of pennies, because here's what to hunt for. Key signs of a rare 1981 error penny. Weight. A standard 1981 penny should weigh 3.11 grams copper. If it weighs less, like 2.5 grams, it may be struck on a zinc planchette or foreign blank. Color. A bright silver, light bronze, or unusually dark tone might hint at a wrong metal composition. Size. A slightly smaller diameter could mean a different planchette was used. Mint mark. Look for an S mint mark, especially the sharper type to variety. Doubling. Check for doubling on letters, numbers, and features on the obverse front side of the coin. The mystery, the rarity, and the jaw-dropping value of the 1971 Lincoln penny, an error so elusive, it's been called the ghost penny of San Francisco. The 1971 Lincoln penny was part of the Classic series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. By 1971, these pennies were already in high circulation and had transitioned to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, introduced in 1959. Double die obverse DDO. PR66 red cameo $40,000, $85,000. PR67 red cameo $90,000, $150,000. PR68 road DCAM to $100,000 plus. PR69 or potential PR7 ODCAM to $150,000, $500,000 plus. Only a few dozen confirmed by PCGSENGC. Off-center strike, 5 to 10% off-center, $100, $300. 40 to 60% off-center with full date and mint mark, $1,000, $3,000 plus. Values depend heavily on centering and eye appeal. Struck on a foreign planchette, wrong planchette, uncertified, $500 to $1,000. Certified and well struck, for example, on aluminum or silver planchette, $5,000 to $10,000 plus. Unique examples can go much higher depending on metal composition. Real auction sales. Let's talk numbers. And prepare to have your jaw hit the floor. In 2020, a PCG S-graded PR67 red cameo 1971S double die obverse sold for over $126,500. In 2022, another specimen in near perfect condition fetched a jaw-dropping $156,000 at auction. But experts agree, in perfect PR69 or PR70 condition, this coin could easily command $150,000 to $500,000, especially as collectors realize how few exist and how aggressively they're being hunted down. This makes the 1971 SDDO not just a rare error, but a legitimate investment-grade coin. With prices tripling in the last decade and demand skyrocketing from global collectors, it's only a matter of time before the $500,000 penny becomes a $1 million legend. How to identify a 1971 double-die penny? You might be wondering, what if I have one of these pennies hiding in my old proof set? Key markers of a true 1971 DDO Lincoln cent: extreme doubling on the obverse front of the coin. Look at Liberty. The letters should appear doubled under a 5x magnifying glass. The words are visibly doubled, especially the letters. The date 1971 will also show very clear signs of doubling. Look closely at the 1 and 9. It must have an S mint mark, indicating it was struck in San Francisco. Typically found in proof sets, especially if the coin appears untouched or stored in its original plastic. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1969 Lincoln penny, a coin so elusive that only a handful are known to exist. Stay with us as we unravel the mystery, history, and the jaw-dropping value of this numismatic legend. In 1969, the U.S. Mint in San Francisco produced millions of Lincoln pennies. However, Due to a rare minting error, known as a double die, a small number of these coins were struck with noticeable doubling on the obverse side. This error occurred during the hubbing process, where the coin's design is impressed onto the die. If the die receives multiple misaligned impressions, it results in a doubled image on the coin. Double die obverse DDO. XF40 extremely fine, $25,000, $50,000, 050 almost uncirculated, $75,000, $100,000. MS60 for red uncirculated, $126,500, Ms 65 red and higher, to $150,000 to $500,000 plus, depending on appeal and provenance. RPM repunched mint mark, 050 MS63, $10, $50, MS6 for MS66 road, $75 and $150 plus. Top grades MS6 7 road, $500 plus. Struck on a wrong planchette, off-metal errors for example. Dime planchette, $1,000, $5,000 plus, depending on the type of wrong planchette and grade. Identify the 1969 S double die Lincoln penny. To identify a genuine 1969 S double die Lincoln penny, look for the following characteristics: doubling on the obverse, clear doubling on the date, 1969. Mint mark. The S mint mark is not doubled, as it was added separately after the die was created. Certification. Due to the prevalence of counterfeits, it's crucial to have the coin authenticated by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC. Auction sales record the value of a legend. The value of the 1969 S double die Lincoln penny varies based on its condition. Circulated coins, even in circulated condition, these coins can fetch $10,000 or more. Uncirculated coins, high-grade examples have sold for staggering amounts. In 2008, a PCGS MS60 for red specimen sold for $126,500. Another MS60 for red example sold in 2018 for $126,000. Some estimates suggest that pristine examples could reach up to $500,000 at auction. The 1964 SMS Lincoln penny, one of the rarest and most valuable modern coins in United States history. Only a handful are known to exist, and if you're lucky enough to find one, your financial future might never be the same. The 1964 SMS Lincoln penny is surrounded by mystery, controversy, and numismatic legend. But to understand why it's so rare and why collectors are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for just one, we need to go back to the early 1960s. The United States Mint had just faced a national coin shortage in the early part of the decade. Die polishing lines error. PCGS SP66 road, $30,000, $40,000. PCGS SP67 road, $50,000, $70,000. PCGS SP68 road, $150,000 up to $250,000 plus, depending on appeal and provenance. Strongly struck devices error. PCGS SP66 road strong strike, $35,000, $50,000. PCGS SP68 road with extremely sharp details to $100,000, possibly up to $500,000 for the finest known example. Unusual satin finish error. PCGS SP65 SP66 road, $25,000, $40,000. PCGS SP67 road with perfect satin finish, $75,000, $150,000 plus, depending on eye appeal. Real auction sales, mind-blowing values. You might be wondering, okay, it's rare and mysterious, but is it actually valuable? The answer is a thunderous yes. Let's take a look at some real-world auction sales. Heritage Auctions, August 2019. A stunning 1964 SMS Lincoln penny graded SP68 red by PCGS sold for an incredible $156,000. That's over 15 million times its face value. Stax Bowers, March 2021. Another SP68 example fetched $180,000, shocking collectors and attracting national attention. Private sale 2023. A certified PCGS SP68 red specimen, believed to be one of the finest known, reportedly changed hands in a private transaction for close to $250,000. Future forecasts 2025 and beyond. Some experts speculate that if one of these coins ever achieves an SP69 grade or higher, it could easily cross the $500,000 market auction. Why? Because demand is sky high and the supply is virtually non-existent. How to identify a genuine 1964 SMS penny? Here are some visual markers that separate a true 1964 SMS penny from the rest. Satin finish with no mirror-like reflectivity. Sharply struck devices, especially Lincoln's hair and coat. Squared off rims, not rounded. No signs of wear or circulation. PCGS or NGC certification as SMS or SP Special Strike.